Joining me now on whether this is a sign of a battle to come in executing President Trump's agenda, given that slim majority, is Florida Congressman Byron Donalds, a key member of the House Oversight Committee. Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
It's good to be with you, Maria. Good morning, everybody.
You just heard the back and forth. Mike Johnson says he's going to have a bill with energy permitting, the border, as well as tax extensions on President Trump's desk by the end of April. Lindsey Graham just said he's worried it's likely not going to happen that way.
Well, look, there's going to be a big lift, a lot of stuff that has to go into this bill. I'm not really going to get caught into whether it's one bill or two bill. I think the job right now is specifically in the House is putting together the overall package. And then your political dynamics, your dynamics on Capitol Hill, the calendar in the House, the calendar in the Senate, that will largely dictate what this ends up looking like. We use this phrase on Capitol Hill often. You have to build the plane while it's in the air. That's what you're about to see. And so, yes, tax policy, yes, energy policy. The DOGE work from Vivek and Elon is going to be a major part of this. There's going to have to be reforms to some pieces of mandatory spending. And I want to be clear, we are not touching Medicare. We are not touching Social Security. But there are other parts of mandatory spending. There's going to have to be some reforms. There's going to have to be some cuts. And so when you put all that stuff together with border security, which is going to be central to all of this, just like tax policy, we can deliver it. It's just working through the finer points and details with our colleagues in the House and, frankly, also in the Senate.
Well, I mean, the idea is to obviously keep the promises that President Trump made, but there's all these new complexities now to the tax policy plans because Trump has said he wants no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and all the rest. That takes time to write a new tax bill. And I've already spoken with a couple of senators who say there's absolutely no way they are voting yes to eliminate or raise the debt ceiling. President Trump wants that in this major bill. I know you guys don't usually like big bills. Can this really, I mean, is this really realistic that you can get this done?
Well, let me talk about two quick things. Tax policy overall, most of it is actually going to be reauthorizing the Trump tax cuts, which, by the way, is the best tax policy our nation's ever had. We already know what it is, so putting that into this vehicle is not going to be overly complex. Now, if you want to talk about the additives to that, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, yes, you have to write that language. I actually wrote the language with Senator Ted Cruz for no tax on tips. We wrote it late in the last Congress. That's policy that we already have drafted. You'll have to ruminate it with colleagues, get that piece through. But to debt ceiling, we have to really have a decision with the fiscal hawks in both chambers. The debt ceiling is going to be raised. The question is it a deal cut with Chuck Schumer or it is a deal cut with Republicans on Capitol Hill?
That's right.
I would prefer we do that deal with Donald Trump as Republicans, have the necessary spending cuts associated with raising a debt ceiling, because we have to begin fiscal responsibility on our watch. The Democrats have lied to the American people, Maria, saying that you could just spend whatever and just raise taxes. You cannot raise taxes enough to cover this massive spending. What ends up happening is Americans lose some of the features of the federal government that they grew accustomed to, and it becomes an absolute disaster for hardworking families in our country. We got to be fiscally responsible. We have to be honest about where reforms are needed and where cuts are needed. You can deliver that with debt ceiling increases.
Well, you've got this incoming team really focused on policy priorities and the outgoing team focused on political favors. You saw what Joe Biden just did over the weekend, giving America's highest civilian awards to George Soros, the Democrats' biggest donor, Hillary Clinton, Anna Wintour, Ralph Lauren, etc. Your thoughts on these Medal of Freedom awards?
I mean, it's just crazy, in my view. First of all, George Soros is on the absolute left of our politics. Everybody knows this. So for Joe Biden and his team, and I stress and his team because let's be honest, Maria, do we really know what Joe Biden is thinking from day to day? We simply do not, and it's a tragedy for our country. And that's not to play politics. It's actually sad to see what's happened to him from a health perspective over these years. But this is his staff and, frankly, in part, his family that are managing all of this stuff from behind the scenes. So if the Democrats want to use their last moments to reward their leftists, makes no sense at all, but we're going to make America great. We're going to be focused on the American people.
All right, we're going to talk with Molly Hemingway about this as well coming up. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thank you, sir.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.